That was good, YouTube. It's your man Ronan, back for another one before I hit the gym. Wanted to take a little time to do another video real quick. Want to say a salute to the A-Game Nation, all the new subscribers. Much love to you guys. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, hit me up at genuinearticle75@gmail.com, or just leave something in the comment section. I'll address it. And as always, much love to the A-Game family, A-Game Nation. Over here, we talk about the 10 life values, systems, order, and structure, and about being for progressive men, especially black men out here. And you already know the deal. Use the code RONAN10. That will be your passport into the A-Game lifestyle. Helps with your vitality, energy, focus, and libido. And with that being said, I'm going to get into the topic. And this is kind of been on my head for a minute, but it's time we have to address it. I want to talk about your disgruntled fan base. Now, these are individuals, unfortunately, the closer the proximity, usually the stronger the resentment is. These are individuals who either had stillborn dreams, aspirations, goals, or they're within your circumference in order to see what they can sabotage, destroy, upend, mock, and basically frustrate you with either side comments. You can't trust them with your vision. You can never show any means of growth or progress without them either refuting it, questioning it, or scoffing at it. And most times we find this out long after we've said I do, or some of us were born by these individuals or gave birth to them. Some of us think we had relationships when they really were relationships. There's far too many examples, but I'm going to try my best to use a few. Number one, when I was in the Marine Corps, and because of how I carried myself, I wasn't like a robot. I had a strong sense of resilience, even though made it through boot camp. 72 hours of hell when we first got there on the yellow footprints. Ask any Marine. And after that 72 hours of hell, I found out that I outlasted these two guys who were 6'5" or better, and they were sitting in the bunk crying like bitches. I knew I was different. I had the drill instructors push me because they saw something in me, but I've always questioned it myself. And they always try to break an individual of old bad habits, mindsets, and everything in order to teach them how to be cool under pressure. Because there's always going to be some situations to where everybody's losing their shit. You have to be that pillar of influence. Like, be up front, lead. We're going to get y'all home. All that. You have to have that mindset to when everything goes to shit, you have to be that superhero in a sense. Even stun yourself. And getting into the fleet, I noticed I had a superior who embarrassed himself. I won't get into what he did. But the thing is, ever since then, he thought I was making mockery of him. So he made a point for the rest of my enlistment to try, send his little minions to give me hell. And one of the things he did, or he allowed to, demean my leadership, was to put the so-called runt of the platoon under my charge. And, he was deemed, not bright and all this other stuff. God rest the dead. And, when I was working with him, instead of judging him by his outward appearance, I brought him to my barracks and we had a long talk. And I wanted to understand how he interpreted things, how he saw himself, what he was looking to do. And I made a promise to him. I said, look, in spite of everything, because I'm going to tell you straight up, they basically put you under my charge to, make an ass out of you and me. But I'm going to do my damnedest to ensure that everything I learned, you're gonna learn. You're gonna be better than me. And he was like, and he, at the time, he's like, is that possible, Lance Corporal? I said, that's my duty. This is what I got to do. So in time, we sat there while everyone's going to Liberty. We would spend at least an hour or so and start learning our knowledge. I would quiz him on things. I would test his knowledge. When we were out there, go to lunch, I'll sit there and like have him hit rapid fire questions. Whenever we get tests, we sit there and ace those things. If he missed one or two, okay, and say, look, we're going to do better. I always encourage them to be better. And out the division, out of 90 shots, we hit 88 with fucking rockets. And that pissed a lot of people off because we were supposed to be the shitbirds of the company when actually we became the best out the division. So with that example, that goes to show you when people set you up for failure, actually they set you up to perform and exceed the expectations, even your own. And when you do that, this exposes not only the weakness within the people who try to set you up, it actually shows you how far beneath them or how weak they really are compared to you. Most of us underplay our skills. Most of us are taught to be not even, I wouldn't say humble, just to really demean ourselves to where we want to fit in with everybody else. And we have to realize we're not built for that. We're just built different. If you're gifted, you have a skill. Some of us are great artists. Some of us are great welders. Some are great, whatever it is that we do. Even bullshit. There's many people who want you to not realize your fullest potential because some of us have been given one gift. Some of us have been given multiple gifts. And the reason why I call them your disgruntled fan base, because they'll get up at butt crack 30 and subscribe to all the propaganda that is, meant to deter your dreams, meant to keep you off focus, off the mission. They want to feel justified in proving that you're the hypocrite that they claim you are to other people, even to yourself. And when you're on the right path, in many ways you'll feel it. Things will begin to gel. Like, okay, this is what I'm on, and you become renewed with your spirit and keep pushing. That's a great sign. But to the disgruntled fan base, you notice they always bring some bullshit into your circumference. Now, you got to question yourself. You ever had them situations where somebody said, well, such and such says you need to do this and this, and they always bring some suggestions from everybody else. Now, you got to ask yourself, why are they so comfortable telling you that bullshit about me when they could have told me, or they came to me firsthand? Why are you the honorary emissary of goofiness? So why you're telling them in many ways to cancel their subscription to Bullshit Illustrated? This is what you have to remember. Everybody's watching, whether you know it or not. And knowing that, it's not telling you to outright be arrogant and shut your ass. But if you got skills and you're gifted, always learn. You're going to teach yourself how to perform under pressure, especially yours. I'm a perfectionist. I admit that. I'm working on that. But the thing is, like, you should never allow yourself to cripple yourself in the pursuit of perfection. That's where you start procrastinating. And when you start tuning out the noise, the background noise of these goofies who want to see you fail, because some of them might lay with you, some of them might have a more intimate relationship with you, but they want you to be divorced from your purpose, because one, it might take you away from them, or two, it might put you out of reach, out of their limited selves and their mindsets. So I'll say in closing, in many ways, when you become skilled in what you do, you can use your disgruntled fan base to your advantage. While they're out there, capping and basically pissing on your name, this gives you an opportunity to shine. Because a wise man let me know there's far more power behind the spotlight than underneath it. See, while they're out there showing their ass and looking for attention and like, hey, look at me, such and such as this, and this. When you allow your results and everything you built that's tangible or intangible to manifest and speak on your behalf, you don't have to say anything. It'll get to the point where it is true. Wealth doesn't have to speak at all. It just shows up and then it shows out. But we're not just talking about monetary wealth. We're talking about spiritual wealth, health, all parts of the 10 life values in there. When you encompass all those things, you learn to master those things and get close to it, you'll stand above, head and shoulders above a lot of the goofies who try to put these punji pits and traps to trip you up and keep you from being the best version of yourself. There's so many charlatans, unfortunately, that are squatting in this space, masquerading as individuals who are looking to help brothers. But in most cases, when push comes to shove, they do any and everything to hinder brothers. They even hinder themselves and look for company all the while. I got a set of brothers, both, bloodborne, but many that are my brothers through brotherhood. It seems a little tighter than, my actual brothers. It's faintly. But these are the individuals that keep me on point. We celebrate each other's accomplishments, seeing each other grow, because that's what brothers are supposed to do. Now, your disgruntled fan base, as far as men, they're always going to point the finger at your flaws. See where you doing some mad shit. They will always try to get you to see the worst of yourself. That way you run or give up on yourself. And notice it, and I noticed before I was closing, but I noticed when I came back from overseas, I was a totally different guy. I was no longer under the street lamp talking about what we're going to do. They knew I was doing things. And when I came back, they were far worse than when I left. So there will come a point where you have to cut off the dead weight. Some people that you were childhood friends at, but then they were only along for certain chapters or a certain point. And it'll be wrong for you to drag them beyond their expiration date. That's just part of maturity. As men, we got to grow. And the hardest part is some things we have to cut off. But that's why you help cartelize the wounds, not just with success, but acceptance that you are meant for much more. And when you're around brothers and sisters who see that you're growing in the way that you need to, you will inspire others to tap into the greater part of themselves. See, in this space, now that it's legit, there was a saying like, go show your work. In many ways, what we're challenging you to do is don't just be all talk, be all about it. You don't have to sit there and show and tell every footstep you do. It's good if you do, just like, hey, I'm just making these steps. There's going to come a point where you do the hard work, the heavy lifting, without everyone looking and micromanaging your progress. You start showing it for yourself. You need make thyself approved. You have to see the change and be proud in it. That way you have to conquer your demons. Conquer your vices. Bitch slap fear and face yourself numerous times, because it's going to be more than one time you face yourself. So instead of going out here and be a masculine obstructionist, you're supposed to breathe life into others that you hold dear, but especially to the reflection you see in the mirror. So with that, I want to salute to you guys. Much love to my A-Game family. And now back to your regularly scheduled program. And as always, never allow your comfort zone become your coffin. Peace.